Second build for you Titans. This one's focused on Severance Enclosure with Void finishers. It's pretty much the same as my Warlock Felwinter's build helm, but for Titans, it's very safe because you're invisible most of the time, and it's got really good ad clear for practically no cost. You can really run whatever weapons you want with it, it doesn't matter at all. Subclass, it doesn't matter what melee or grenade. These are probably the best two aspects, but it also doesn't really matter. All that really matters is the fragments. You have to have Echo of Cessation and Obscurity, so every time you do a finisher with Severance Enclosure, you go invisible, everything is made volatile, and then it also blows up because of Severance Enclosure. This just helps you stay invisible, have an overshield, and have Devour longer, since Devour is just a bonus. Because why not have Devour constantly? And then you could use a Repulsor Brace weapon to finish off the enemies you make volatile, but it doesn't really matter. The whole mod setup is focused around Empowered Finish, so you don't even have to pick up orbs. You just get a finisher with stacks on stacks, and when you don't have stacks, you'll get two. And while you have the stacks, you can have improved super cooldown, improved strength or discipline, whatever you prefer. I chose strength because Devour gives you plenty of grenade energy. Just figured since you get grenades more often, you can build into melee regen. Chest piece doesn't matter. Stacks on stacks is recommended. It gives you 2 stacks every time you don't have a stack. And do a finisher. Give yourself a weapon surge if you want. Also doesn't really matter. Whatever kind of regen mod you want for orbs. And you have to have Empowered Finish. Bulwark Finisher is recommended because it gives you an overshield during your finishers and you're pretty much unkillable. And an extra recovery. I figured I'd show it off in a bit more tightly packed area with more enemies. It's still decently difficult. See, now I got the power because I created a Void Breach. And now you can just go to town finishing everything. Usually Severance Enclosure makes everything else near you finishable after one finisher, so you can just chain them. You could try this with the chair finisher if you have it. It may give the whole setup more range. I don't know. It gives Felwinter's Helm more range on its debuff, so it could be effective here as well if you're willing to spend money to get a finisher. It's definitely the only finisher worth buying for any reason because it does extend the range of Felwinter's Helm debuff at least. I'm not sure about this. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. I'll try and let a Minotaur melee me while I'm in a finisher so you can see just how tanky it is. The overshield you get from the mod. You're pretty much unkillable. See, just like that, I was almost dead. Get a full overshield during the finisher and power proc, so I get a full heal. It's very good for weaker enemies, like in raids and stuff, because most enemies won't survive the finisher. These guys are just pretty tanky, because they're higher light. But most likely in raids and stuff, you'll just be one-shotting everything. Obviously, I could be using my abilities a lot more. like I said, it's very safe because you're pretty much always invisible except for when you're either finishing or priming something for a finisher.
There. That X portal looks like it's accessing the building's server. Whatever is coordinating this assault must be inside.
There you go. There's the